and welcome to Mic Drop Monday. We are live and excited about this segment. So what I'm going to do is give us an opportunity to let you guys come on live, and let me make sure really quick that we are on and popping this Monday night. I'm going to start sharing. Remember, as you guys come on, make sure that you're telling us hello and make sure that you let us know where you are watching from. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to join, and I'm going to start sharing this with a couple of my pages and let everybody know to join us live.
Hello.
Hi and welcome. I'm so excited about tonight. Let me share this. I'm going to share this with my Elisa LaShell page. If you have not yet started following me on my official page, make sure you do. Kathy's watching from Hemingway, South Carolina. Welcome. Sandra, always. Moultrie's in the house. Thank you so much. Let me share this with the Miss Juanita's in the house. I'm going to share this with the My Relationship Movement page as well, and tell everybody that it's time to join us live. Hey, Tina. Join us live. I'm also going to share this with my new empowerment group. Tasha's watching from Alabama. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Vivian, bless you, woman of God. Thank you for watching tonight. And let me share this one more time with my group. Latara, hi, welcome. Thank you for watching. I'm going to share this with my group. And if you have not joined the Power Aid, make sure you join the group. Corey, CFA, thank you for being in the house so much. Quanta, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys for joining. Let's see. All right, I just shared this with my group, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to come on. Esther's in the house. Hello and welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. We are excited. My friend Timothy, good evening, is on. He got his keyboard ready. My cousin Renee is on. Welcome, Renee. Thank you for joining tonight. We're going to have an exciting time. Hey, Miss Juanita. We're going to have a good time tonight. I think this is going to be a powerful, powerful segment. Jacqueline's watching right from here, Albany, Georgia. Thank you so much for watching. Teresa Brown Clark is in the house. Thank you so much for watching. Listen, guys, Renita, thank you for watching.
Hey, Miss Renita.
This is not, and I want to say this, even though it's a special mother-daughter edition, hey, Kenyatta, it is for everybody. If you have children, I think a lot of what's going to happen tonight is going to affect you with your kids. Highland is in the house. Thank you for watching. Barbara, bless you. Thank you always for supporting and watching. It is for if you have children, if you are a daughter. Hey, Michelle, and if you have a daughter or if you are a daughter, I really, really think that this segment is going to help you guys. Trinell is in the house. Thank you for watching. And so please come on and watch. I think it's going to help in relationships in general with our children. Hey, Atkins is in the house. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Tina says she is ready. I'm so excited. Listen, everybody, take a moment and share this broadcast because I do feel like it's going to impact a lot of people. I think it's going to impact a lot of relationships. So everybody, do me a favor. And Laverne is watching from Garrison, Texas. Thank you and welcome. Do me a favor, please share this video. Hey, Kimberly, because I believe that there are some more mothers and daughters out there that really, really need to see this message and hear it. Deborah's watching from Macon. Thank you. So let me give everybody an opportunity to start sharing it. Hey, Jason, thanks for being in the house. Let me give everybody an opportunity to start sharing it. Tag your moms, tag your daughters. Hey, Camille, if you've had issues or if you just want to build a better relationship with your daughter, Kawamba D's in the house. Thank you so much for sharing. Share this broadcast. If you are a part of a women's group, a parenthood group, share this video because I really believe, hey Sabrina, I really believe that this segment, as all of them, is going to bring help, hope, and healing to relationships. So do me that one favor. Use your power of influence to share this. Single moms, married moms, divorced moms, daughters. If you know of some younger people, if you know of some teenagers, if your daughter is on social media, on Facebook, get her on. Hey, Marcia, because I believe this is going to give us an empowering perception, a different way of looking at relationships. And we're going to hear from the mouth of the daughter, and we're going to really have some candid dialogue tonight. I always tell you guys, my segments are real, raw, and relevant. And so I really believe that we're going to have some interesting conversation and some interesting dialogue about the damaged daughter dilemma. And we're not going to just be talking about our daughters, but we're going to be talking about ourselves and some of the things that we might have encountered in our relationships with our moms. And so really, I believe tonight is going to be a night, again, of help, hope, and healing. And so I really want you guys to start hitting that share button, start sharing this inside of your groups. If you have a different page that you are a part of, hey Tisha, if you have a church page, or if you have a community page or a community group, hey Tamika, that you know that there are some mothers and there are some daughters, get them on this broadcast. If you are raising a daughter and you just want some insight, if you have a relationship with your mother, I believe that the things we're going to talk about tonight is really going to give us some insight into our relationships with our mothers, with our parents. Hey, Erica, thank you for watching. And so you guys are going to want, hey, Shonda, look at Fred is on. You guys are going to want to join us live tonight. And you guys know that Mic Drop Monday is all about help, hope, and healing. You know that it's also about you can't fix what you won't face. And so hey Vicky, a lot of our issues are not fixed because we haven't faced them. Makithia, thank you. Hey Darren, thank you for watching. But tonight, hey Brenda, love you too. Tonight, we're going to deal with the matters of the heart, and we're really going to talk about thank you for sharing, Esther. We're really going to talk about this sensitive subject, which is that mother-daughter relationship, which is that relationship that we have with our children. And a lot of things we're going to talk about tonight aren't just going to apply to our daughters, but it's really going to apply to our children in general, because a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about, we deal with this with our boys as well. Hey, Octavia, thank you for watching. So, hey, my fam is on tomorrow. Dr. T is in the house. So if you know of some ladies, some mothers, if you have a relationship with your mother, if there have been some things, some damages in your relationships, and you need some help, some hope, some healing, share this. Even if you have to watch the replay, you don't know whose lives you're impacting just by hearing this conversation, this dialogue between mothers and daughters. Start tagging your moms, tag your sisters, tag your coworkers, tag your aunts, the people that you know that you've had conversations with about their daughters. Let's get them on tonight, because I think tonight is going to be a very, very relevant, hey Catherine, thank you for watching, a very, very relevant dialogue that we're going to have. So we're excited. I know we have a lot of stuff coming on tonight. I know there are some shows that came on tonight. I know a lot of people are going to watch the replay. So let me welcome you all that will be watching the replay. I can't call you out and shout you out live, but thank you so much for joining us, and welcome, welcome, welcome. And please share this broadcast with somebody else that will benefit from dealing with relationships with our children. Tonight, we are focusing on not just our relationships with our daughters, but we're going to talk about our relationships with our mothers. And so please tag your moms, tag your sisters, tag anybody that you think that will benefit from this conversation. We really, 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 hey Vanessa, we really, really want to have this dialogue, and we really, really believe that it's going to bring some help, some hope, and some healing. I see my bonus babies coming on. Welcome Alana and Aaliyah to Mic Drop Monday. Kim, thank you so much for joining. So thank you guys for sharing. Thank you guys for watching. I look forward to your dialogue tonight. And so as we get started, let me first introduce myself for those of you all that might not know me and it's your first time watching Mic Drop Monday. I'm Elisa LaShell, the Empowerment Specialist. And what I do is I bring help, hope, and healing through the rebuilding, restoring, and renewing of ourselves from the inside out. And my motto is you can't fix what you won't face. And so what I do for Mic Drop Monday is, thank you, Vaughn, what I'll do from watching all the way from the Bronx. Thank you so much. Bless you. What I try to do with Mic Drop Monday is find those issues that a lot of of times we have a hard time fixing because we won't face them. And so Mic Drop Monday is all about finding those issues and bringing us to a place of help, of hope, and of healing. Now, Mic Drop Monday is every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time right here on Facebook Live. And tonight I brought for the second time on my live show a very, very, very special guest. And it is my only daughter, Alexia. Alexia, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So Alexia and I did this show, part 1, about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And did you enjoy that segment?
Yes.
I think we had a good time. We had so many people that watched. And so tonight we wanted to take it to the next step, and we wanted to come back because I think both of us have grown, don't you think? Mm-hmm. And changed and matured and went through some different things. So we came back for the Damaged Daughter Dilemma part 2, and we're calling this, Am I Helping or Hurting? Because a lot of times we can think we're helping, but what are we really doing?
I'm hurting.
We're hurting. And so we want to have this conversation about mothers and daughters. So again, as you guys are coming on, make sure that you're sharing this, even if you're watching the replay. Our whole mission, our whole purpose in this live tonight is hoping that some relationships can be better because of this open dialogue, because of our transparency, sharing our story. We're really, really helping that people can really, really find some help, some hope, and some healing. What do you want to happen with this Mic Drop Monday tonight? What do you want people to walk away feeling tonight when they watch this segment?
I want them to walk away with an answer. I want them to walk away with just basically healing. Like, I want them to leave better than when they came.
Leave better than you came. Tanel is watching from Monroe, Louisiana. Thank you so much for watching. And so if you did not get to watch part 1, it's still available on my page. You can just go to my videos and type in the Damaged Daughter Dilemma, or just type in daughter and the video will pop up. My daughter and I, at that time, what shirts were we wearing?
I am worth the investment.
I am worth the investment. That's right. And you can order those off our website, www.myrelationshipmovement.com/shop. Tonight we have on our Not This Year t-shirts. You can order those as well. Red, black, and they also come in gray. And we're saying not this year. No damaged daughters this year. Hey, Sheila. And so tonight we're going to deal with the damaged daughter dilemma. Now, tonight we're asking the question, am I helping or am I hurting? Tina, thank you for being in the house. Am I helping or am I hurting? And so, Lex, let me ask you this question. How important is a daughter's relationship with her mom?
It's very important.
Why? Why do you think it's very important?
Because having a daughter is basically the image of you. So it's basically a little you. So you want them to be everything that's instilled in you, the greater in you, to be in them. You don't want a broken daughter. Now with sons it's kind of different, but with daughters it just has to be strong, and it just has to be important.
That's powerful. She just, basically said your daughter is basically a little you, the other part of you, and you want, what did you say, that you to be greater, and you want that you to not be broken. That was a powerful that right there was just a powerful I feel like that was just a revelation even for me to hear. I don't want the me that's on the outside of me to be broken. Wow. And so that's just, we'll start off right there is Raymond Jones. Thank you so much for listening. And so you don't want the you that you produce to be broken. Do you know how many people are walking around? Thank you, Sylvia, for watching. South Carolina's in the house. You're soft-spoken. That's good. So you don't want the you on the outside to walk around broken. And so tonight we're going to deal, thank you Monica for watching, with brokenness, because we don't want damaged daughters. And we're really going to get to, am I helping or am I hurting, as we talk about mothers and daughters and that relationship that we even have with our moms. Lexia, I'm going to ask you this question because I know you have a lot of friends and you talk to a lot of girls. Do you think girls spend a lot of time talking about their moms?
Yes.
Y'all do?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Like what kind of things in general are you talking about?
Sometimes we're angry at our mom and we want to talk to our friends about what happened and what they did to us. Or sometimes we're just like, man, I got the best mom ever. It's not really necessarily bad, but we just talk about them all the time.
So you would say that the mothers is a very important part of the dialogue of the daughters.
Definitely.
So that has to mean then that daughters, y'all keep y'all mamas on y'all mind a lot, correct? Right. So somewhere, even if y'all are not talking to us, you're saying that I'm on your mind all through the day?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. But sometimes you're saying not necessarily all the time in a good way though, right? Okay. So I think that's important for us to know, daughters and moms. Our girls keep us on their minds a lot of the time. And just the same, our moms keep us on their minds a lot of the times. And so tonight we're going to talk about some of the roadblocks a lot of times to us having the type of relationship that we may want to have. And I think all of this is about understanding. And I think a lot of understanding has to do with communication. Hey, Tracy, don't you think communication in any relationship, it's important? Right. But wouldn't you say that maybe one of the biggest things in our relationship is what?
Right. Communication.
It's communication. It's key. Pastor Knighton is in the house. That's right. Help, hope, and healing is on the way. My backup is in the house. So I'm grateful to have my pusher in the house. That's right. Deborah says your mom's always got your back. And so a lot of times we're finding, though, there are some times or some things that we can do, though, that make our daughters question some things about ourselves, our loyalty and our love. And we have to find a healthy way to create the dialogue between that. And so we're going to start off already. We're going to start dropping the mic. I'm going to ask you guys, if you just came on, please share this. I think the conversation with your daughter and the conversation about your mother is one of the most important conversations that you will have. So please, everybody, take a moment and share this video. Tag your moms, tag your daughters, tag your nieces, tag your girlfriends, tag your aunties. Get them on. If you have a group of parents, of women, mothers, wives, get them on tonight, because we are about to have an important dialogue about the damaged daughter dilemma. And one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm going to hashtag it, somebody should put it in, no more damaged daughters. That's what we're dealing with tonight. Hey, Shanika, watching from my hometown. No more damaged daughters. We sometimes are damaged women, and because we don't know how to fix those damaged areas in our lives, we produce damaged daughters. Aaliyah and Alana are in. I think they're tagging their mom. And so welcome all of you guys for watching. I'm so grateful that I have everybody. Sherry's in the house. Happy birthday, Sherry. And thank you for coming on and sharing this and watching it. Thank you guys that are saying you're sharing it, because we're about to get, hey, Lizandria, we're about to get on and popping tonight. Martini, thank you for watching so much. That's right. Renee hashtagged it. No more damaged daughters. This shirt says, not this year. No more damaged daughters. We are going to break the dilemma of the damaged daughters tonight. And we're going to help try to bring some help, some hope, and some healing. So thank you all for being in the house. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you, Timothy. Now, I said this in an earlier post, and I'm going to say it again tonight because it's important. Thank you, Shanika. It's so important. Thank you guys that are tagging your moms. I said in an earlier post that our daughters, and my daughter said it a few minutes ago, our daughters are the walking, breathing manifestation of the things that are within us. When we turn a blind eye to our internal struggles, we're creating a dilemma. Melly's in the house. Thank you so much. Miss Eva, welcome. Thank you so much. Disha, hey, thank you. And thank you for sharing.
Hey, Kiara.
When Kiara's on, thank you, Kiara. When we turn a blind eye to our internal struggles, we're creating a dilemma, because our daughters, I'm telling you, are the walking, breathing manifestations of who we are. And here is what happens. A dilemma is defined as anything that's difficult or perplexing, a problem. A dilemma is when we create something that's kind of a catch-22. A dilemma is when there is a struggle. And when it comes to our daughters, moms, I got to tell you, a lot of times we create dilemmas. So here's my first mic drop of the mic. And let me go ahead and tell you my rules, those of you guys that are just watching Mic Drop Monday for the first time. Rule number 1, if you hear us drop a mic, if I say something powerful, if my daughter daughter says something that's powerful, we call that a mic drop. If you have a microphone emoji on your phone or your device, put that microphone emoji in the comments and let us know that you had a mic drop moment. Or you can just type the words mic drop. Let us know that it was a mic drop moment. Number 2, if you see yourself in this, or even if you see your relationship with your mom, you recognize, wow, that's something that I deal with. My mom and I deal with that. Type in 3 words, I see me. And what you're doing is you're letting other daughters and other mothers know, hey, you guys aren't the only people that deal with that. We deal with this same issue in our relationships. So type in, I see me, if you hear something that's said between my daughter and I, or if you hear something that resonates with you. Last but not least, if we drop a mic, or if we say something, or if I give out points, because we're going to talk about a couple of points tonight, type them in the comments, because it gives people an opportunity. You can go back and have this conversation with your daughter or your friends. You can go back and take notes. It's a good talking point for you. Hey, Evelyn. And listen, those of you guys, I see a lot of you guys just joining. Make sure that you're sharing this, because I really believe that there are a lot of damaged daughters. Hey, Lucinda, there are a lot of relationships that need restoring, that need help, hope, and healing. And so please help us spread this message and help bring some restoration to some mommies and some daughters, and even with our mothers, by sharing this video, by tagging them, but by putting them in your group chat. Put this video in there, and hopefully it will bring some restoration. Now, I'm going to go ahead and drop the first mic of tonight, because I just said that your daughter is a walking, breathing manifestation of the things that are within you. And you guys know I always tell you, you can't fix what you won't face. But here is the first mic drop of the night. When you refuse, what you refuse to face in your mirror is what you'll be forced to face in your reflection. Hey, Bree, hey, you hear what I'm saying? If you refuse to face something in the mirror, guess what? You'll be forced to face it in your reflection. I'm going to say that one more time. What you refuse to face in your mirror, you'll be forced to face it in your reflection. A lot of times, a lot of internal issues that we have, we didn't face them. We didn't want to deal with them. Hey, Derek, we wanted to ignore them. We wanted to pretend like they didn't exist. And because we wouldn't face them in our mirror, guess what? We ended up facing them in our reflection. Hey, T-Mac, thank you for watching. And so the reason why we have to have this mom-daughter moment, the reason why we have to talk about these tainted reflections, the reason why we have to try and bring help, hope, and healing to mothers and daughters is because what you refuse to face in your mirror, you'll be forced to face in your reflection. Let me tell you something. Just because I ignored my personal issues, just because I wanted to pretend like they didn't exist, just because I tried to excuse them or redirect them or deny them, it didn't mean they went away. It just meant that, guess what? I caught them on the back end. I didn't want to deal with them on the front end, but guess what? They manifested themselves in my daughters. I have 2 boys. I have one son that is in the
Air Force.
And one son that's doing what this week? Graduating. Oh. He's graduating. So my oldest son is in the Air Force. He's been in over a year. Yeah. And my middle kid is graduating from high school. But when I think about my boys, I see some of the unresolved issues in my own life manifested in him. Hear me, and I'm going to say this one more time. What you refuse to face in your mirror is what you'll be forced to face within your reflection. My daughter is a reflection of me. And even though there are some good things, a lot of good things that's reflected in her, guess what? There are some issues about me that shows up where?
In me.
In you. Would you say we have a lot of the same personality aspects? Yes. Good and bad?
Good and bad.
What are some of the things that you see me in? Like you say, oh, I get that. That's my mama.
My humor and my nurturing.
You have a nurturing spirit. So that came from your mom. You saw that in me. Would you also say that there are some maybe not so great issues that you have that you see that came from me? Like what?
I cannot accept criticism. I cannot.
What happens when you feel like somebody is criticizing you?
I just feel like, I know they're doing it out of their heart, but I just feel like it's kind of against me, and I feel like I need to shut down and push away. I feel like you're not doing it to your best interest when you really are.
See, now that's a big thing. I have issues. I used to, before I started working on them. That was one of my issues. I could not handle critique or criticism. I would just shut down. I would take it personal. I would feel like, and is this how you feel? Yes. Like somebody's attacking you? Yes. And then you just say, I don't want to do anything. I just, never mind. I'd rather not do anything because I feel attacked. Yes. And I just said, ladies, this is my first mic drop of the night. What you refuse to face in your mirror, you'll be forced to face in your reflection. Your daughters, your children are reflections of the things that you refuse to face in yourself. They are the manifestation of your greatness, but they also are a manifestation of your weaknesses. Y'all hear me? I'm dropping the mic tonight. Your children, in particular, we're talking about your daughter, are manifestations not only of your greatness, but of your weaknesses. You can't fix what you won't face. And a lot of times we have unresolved issues with our mamas, with our grandmamas, with our daddies, with things that happened with us. Thank you guys for being honest and saying, I see me. I hope you guys are sharing. Hey, Catherine. And we don't resolve them. And guess what? They manifest. And then we wonder why our daughters are having self-esteem problems. We wonder why our daughters are having problems making friends. We wonder why our daughters are having a hard time with things. Pastor Hill, thank you so much for being on. We wonder why they're having it, but it's because we've transferred those issues without resolving them. Do y'all hear me? You can transfer unresolved issues to your children because you are afraid to face them. I keep telling you, and I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. What you refuse to respond to, what you refuse to face in your mirror, you'll be forced to face with it in your manifestation. So she just told you guys, listen, there are some issues that she has that's a direct result of who I am. And so a lot of times we like to look at our kids and say, girl, because I'll do it in a minute. Why are you so sensitive? Oh, I didn't even mean it like that. And you just already taking it the wrong way. But who do you get it from?
You, Mom.
I get it from my mama. And so we have to deal with it. I used to tell you, I did in an earlier mic drop, fear, because a lot of this is bred in fear. Fear means you can either forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. I don't want to forget everything and run. Not this year. I want to face everything and rise. And you can't fix what you won't face. And tonight, this is what we're going to deal with. Mothers, daughters, I hope you guys are sharing. I hope you guys are tagging your moms. I hope you guys are tagging your daughters. Put these in your groups because this is a conversation tonight. The damaged daughter dilemma. Am I helping or am I hurting? And I'm Elisa, LaShell, the empowerment specialist, and I'm featuring my daughter, Lex. I call her what? What do I call you?
L Boogie.
L Boogie. And she is my reflection. And tonight we're going to really have a conversation about if you don't fix it, you're going to be forced to face it. And so, Lexia just gave you some of the personality traits that she has that directly come from me. Some of them that are good, some of them that are not so good. But I just hashtagged earlier. Listen, hashtag no more damaged daughters. Can you say that, AJ?
No more damaged daughters.
No more damaged daughters. What do you think damaged means? When something is damaged, when you damage your phone or when you damage your glasses or when you damage something, what happens to the thing that's damaged?
Broken.
It's broken. Is it functional?
No.
How do you feel about...
It could be.
Woo, it could be. So how do you feel about... Let's take your phone because your phone's been damaged before. You've dropped it because you were careless. You've dropped it because, it was just a mistake. When your phone became damaged, what happened to the phone? Weren't you still able to talk on it?
Yes, but it didn't look the same.
It didn't look the same, so you didn't want to do what with it?
I didn't really want to have it on me. Like, I was kind of embarrassed.
Whoa, are you hearing this revelation? You were kind of embarrassed. So you're telling me you had this phone that you were proud of. Now, how do you feel about your phone? In right general, now? Yeah, just when it's fixed, when it's on and popping, you got your case. I want to
show it off, but when it's broken, I feel kind of embarrassed about it.
Are y'all hearing this? When you're dealing with something that is whole, you want to show it off. You want to talk about it. You want to use it. Because how often are you on your phone?
Not 24/7.
but very close to it. And when your phone is damaged, do you feel like you use your phone as much?
Not as much.
Why?
Because it doesn't look the same. I don't want to be around it. I know it may sound weird, but like, say for instance, last time I dropped my phone, I couldn't even see my screen. I barely brought it out at school just because of what people would say.
Whoa. Are you guys hearing the revelation in this?
I caught that.
That you caught that revelation? Here's what happened. I just said that our daughters are one of our most valuable assets, and they're our reflection. When they are shining, on and popping, oh, we want to show them off. We want to talk about them. You know, my daughter this, and we want to put them on the front of the line, even with our parents, our moms. But what happens when they're broken? What happens when we're careless with them? What happens when we use them a little too much? What happens when we didn't hold on to them tight enough, or we held on to them too tight and they became damaged? What even happens when something else damaged them and they became broken? What happened when life broke them? What happens when something else broke them? Maybe they got pregnant. Maybe they got on drugs. Maybe they went to jail. Maybe they lost their job. What happens when they are broken? They still work. They still function, but guess what? We don't really want to pull the phone out in front of our friends because my daughter just said, I didn't want to really use it in front of everybody because I didn't want them to judge me. Because I didn't want them to be judged, because usually when somebody looks at your broken phone, whose fault do they think it is?
Mine.
They think it's because they think, well, her phone is broken and damaged because what?
Because of her careless mistakes.
Whoa! Listen, we dropping the mic. And so when we didn't even know that was coming, did we? So hear me what she just said. And so just like our phones, a lot of times mothers, we can look at our daughters when they become damaged, when they do something we didn't want them to do. Maybe they failed at something. Maybe they didn't get anything right. Maybe something happened in their lives and we say, oh my goodness, they're damaged. We don't really want to be seen with them sometimes because we're saying that's a reflection of me. They're going to associate her brokenness with me. And so just like with her phone, she said, listen, when my phone became damaged, I didn't want people looking at it because why?
Because it was damaged.
And they would think what?
It was my mistake.
They would think it was my mistake. A lot of us have damaged relationships with our children because we don't want to deal with the possibility that their damage might have been our mistake. I'm dropping the mic tonight. We don't want to deal with the fact that maybe somebody's going to look at our manifestation, the things inside of us that's manifested in the flesh, and say, whoa, wait a minute. She's broken. He's broken. That must be his daddy's fault. That must be his mama's fault. That her grandmother must have did that. And so we want to disassociate ourselves from our children when they feel or look broken. But then when they on their A game, we want to take them out. We want to shine them up. We want to put them out there. But listen, we've got to get rid of the damaged daughter dilemma. Thank you guys. Listen, this is already good tonight. I hope you guys are sharing this with your friends. I hope that you're tagging your moms, your dads. I believe everybody can benefit from this damaged daughter dilemma, this conversation that we're having today. No more damaged daughters. I'm telling you guys, thank you all so much. Iris Watts, thank you, woman of God, for being on. No more damaged daughters. And we're going to deal with this tonight. Thank you all so much that are sharing. So, the other day, Lexia's girl group, what was it called?
Girl Code.
Girl Code had an empowerment event, and they asked me to come on and talk to the girls. And one of the things I talked about, and I'm going to hit on this tonight. Thank you guys so much that are joining and sharing. Hey, Tangela, one of the things that I talked about, and we're going to talk about this tonight, is I called it 3 pressure points. And these pressure points that we're going to talk about tonight, Derica, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Carla. Listen, we are so grateful for all of these amazing words that you guys are giving us. We're so grateful that we're able to use our relationship and be transparent, even about my relationship with my mom, to help bring some help, hope, and healing to relationships. This is what we're all about on this Mic Drop Monday. You guys know that. What's my famous saying?
You can't fix what you won't face.
One more time for the people in the back.
You can't fix what you won't face.
You can't fix what you won't face. So tonight we are facing these issues so that we can fix them. So I talked about 3 pressure points in relationships. And it's not just with mothers and daughters. You can use these pressure points in any relationship. Tonight we're doing 2 things: damage control and damage prevention. Somebody should type that in. Damage control and damage prevention. Listen, if the truth be told, a lot of us have damage from our parents. A lot of us have damage that happened early on in our lives. And guess what? A lot of the recurrent relationships we have with our children are damaged. But listen, we want to do damage control. And guess what? We want to do damage prevention. We want to stop some of this damage before it gets too far. And so you heard what my daughter said about that phone. Yes, the phone was broken. Yes, it looked like it couldn't function, but guess what? She could still make calls. Guess what? Couldn't you still text?
Yes.
But what you didn't like was the camera. And because you heard that? You didn't like the what in that phone when it got broke?
The image.
Why? Because when you tried to...
It didn't look like the first day I got it.
It didn't look... Do you hear that? It didn't look like the reflection you wanted to see, right? Yes. And so what happens is when we feel like there's damage with our daughters, what we will do, they don't look like the reflection we want. She don't look, that's not what I had in mind for her. She's not being in the image of what I think she should be. And so what we'll do is we want to cast aside. We want to look the other way. There's a strain in our relationship because our mom didn't know this was going to happen to us. Our mom didn't expect us to get pregnant out of wedlock. Our mom didn't know we might go to jail. Our mom didn't know we might not be that smart. And so a lot of times we have to go back and do damage control. Granny, I didn't know that you were on. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We have to do damage control and damage prevention. Thank you all that are just joining. Listen, I'm telling you guys, this is a conversation that you're going to want to have with your children. Make sure that you are sharing this broadcast. Thank you, Prophet Apostle Samuel, for being on tonight. We are dealing with the damaged daughter dilemma, and we are talking, if you know mothers and daughters that should be watching this. Thank you, Joy, for joining. Get them on tonight because we are going to bring help, hope, and healing to relationships, parent and children relationships, mother-daughter relationships. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how fractured, as my daughter said about the phone earlier. And if you just came on, make sure you go back to the beginning of this broadcast because she dropped some mics tonight about that phone. So what we're about to deal with are the 3 P's. And I want somebody to type this in the comments. If you're new, Mic Drop Monday. If you hear us drop the mic, put that microphone emoji on the screen. If you see yourself in this issue, if you see the relationship with your mom, say, I see me. Type that in the comments and let somebody know, listen, you guys are on it. I've dealt with this. Last but not least, if you hear us saying some points and you say, wow, that was a revelation, or that was a great point, type it into the comments because you don't know who you are helping by sharing. Thank you guys so much that are using your power of influence to share this with somebody else. Hey, Couture, welcome. Thank you guys so much. The 3 P's, and we call these the pressure. I'm talking tonight about pressure. And these 3 P's are what brings damage to relationships. It brings division. It brings dysfunction. It brings damage to relationships. So this is what we're going to deal with tonight. 3 pressure points that create dilemmas in the relationships with our daughters and in their relationships with us. Number 1, Alexia, do you remember the first pressure that I talked about when I did that segment? What was that?
Yes, how we see ourselves.
How we see ourselves and how what?
How we think others see ourselves.
And how we think others see us. I call that the perception pressure. Can somebody type that in the comments? Number 1, we're talking about 3 pressures that damage our relationships with our daughters and damage their relationships with us. We're bringing help, hope, and healing tonight. Number 1, perception pressure. Somebody type that in the comments for me. Perception pressure. And Alexia, this is my only daughter, Alexia. She's on with me as my special guest tonight. What did you say perception pressure was? How we what?
How we see ourselves and how we think others see ourselves.
How we see ourselves and how we think others see us. Do you get that? That's perception pressure. How we look at us, how we see ourselves and how we think other people see us. And so that's very correct. Let me tell you something. That's pressure. When I was younger, I had self-esteem issues. Honey, back in the day, dark-skinned girls were not popular. I had these Coke bottle glasses. I had a Jerry curl. I was a skinny mini. I had perception pressure because I had, Izzy, remember, hey Izzy, thank you for watching. We're giving you a shout out. I had perception pressure. I was concerned about how I saw myself, and as my daughter just stated, how other people saw me. And it had everything to do with my level of self-esteem. As a matter of fact, I remember younger, I would be looking at my feet when I walked, and I didn't want to look up at people. And I remember shying away from things and shying away from people because of how I saw myself and because of how I thought other people saw me. It creates pressure. Listen, what I decided to do, and Alexia, I want to see if you remember this. One of the things that I realized is in my relationship with my mother, and I don't think it was intentional, but my mother, affirmations weren't big back in the day, and my grandmother was on, and she'll tell you, their mothers didn't teach them about affirmations. They didn't teach you how to wake up in the morning and give yourself positive affirmations and how to look at your children and give them positive affirmations all the time. And so even though there was positivity in our lives, there was not a lot that was spoken directly to me that spoke to the way that I saw myself, the image that I had of myself. And because I had low self-esteem, because I had issues with how I saw myself, I also had a issue with how I believed other people were seeing me, and it led to low self-esteem. It led to issues in my own mind about me. One of the things that I decided to do, and we're talking about this, ladies, I'm so glad I see so many more of you all joining. If you have daughters, get them on. Moms, get your daughters on, and daughters, bring your mom on for this important conversation. Even if they're going to watch later, share this video on your page because this is one of the most important conversations that you will have. A lot of the issues of your life right now has to do with your conversations and your unresolved issues with your moms. Hey, Willie, thank you for being in the house. Hey, Denise, thank you guys for being in the house. Number one, we're talking about perception pressure. One of the things that I made a point of doing with my only daughter is because I remember having self-esteem issues when I was younger, because I didn't get those affirmations and a lot of that build up in my self-esteem, I decided to do something different when I had my daughter. And I started this maybe when she was about 4 or 5 years old. Alexia, do you remember? And I want you to really tell them if you remember and what you remember me doing with you as it related to your self-esteem and your self-confidence. What did I do?
You sat me in your lap while doing my hair, this ugly hairstyle, and you would tell me that I am beautiful and that nobody else can tell me different because you thought I was beautiful.
That's right.
I remember.
That's right. And you remember that. Mm-hmm. Do you remember like what kind of things that I said specifically? Like what type of things did I say about you that were beautiful?
You love my little chocolate skin, my hair, my features, and my personality.
Right. And and did I just do this every now and again?
No, you did it every day.
Every day. And I did this while you were looking where?
Right at you.
And
right
we were
at myself.
Right at yourself in the mirror. And I would say those things. I would tell her that she was strong. I would tell her that she was capable. I would tell her I didn't care what anybody said. She had to be the most beautiful child I ever saw in my life. Alexia, tell me this. What was that doing even now? Because I still do it. Mm-hmm. What was that and what has that done for you emotionally, mentally, psychologically? What does that do for you?
It has helped me not have self-esteem issues. I have never had to question my self-esteem. I don't really care about people's opinions, bad, of course. And I just basically do everything that I want to do, that I love to do, that I know is right. And it will also compliment you and myself.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marcus, for being on. So you just said that because of the affirmations that I start giving you from childhood, it start making you not doubt yourself.
Right.
So you're confident.
Yes.
And now I know there are some issues that you have with yourself, I'm sure. But does it make you feel like, child, just throw the whole body away, throw my whole face away, because I had these conversations with you from 5 years old?
It helped build me.
It helped build you. So would you say that what we say to our children have a direct impact on what they feel about themselves?
Of course, because we look up to y'all.
Because we look up to y'all. Do y'all hear this? Listen, I dropped this mic a couple of days ago, and I'm going to say it again. And mothers, hear me on this, because I know back in the day, thank you, Jazz, thank you, Azarian, back in the day, and mamas, I know we meant well, and I know y'all meant well when you raised us. We would be saying stuff to our girls, or our moms would say things to us like, child, don't be worried about how you look. Don't be worried about what those people say. They don't pay our bills. They don't take care of this house. And they would just send us on out in there in the world. And we weren't equipped emotionally. Right. We weren't equipped mentally to handle rejection, to handle judgment. We weren't equipped. Listen to me, mothers and daughters. And I'm going to say this again. It was a mic drop that I did earlier this week. What they think about you is opinion. What you think about you is reality. I'm going to say that again. What they think about you is opinion. What you think about you is reality. Lexia, can you say that?
What they think about you is an opinion.
But what
you think about yourself is reality.
It's reality. Other people's thoughts about you is an opinion. It's just what they think. But the most important perception, as we're talking about perception pressure, that you will have is how you feel about yourself. Right. I'm talking about the perception pressure and how it affects our relationships with our daughters. We as mothers, hear this, can sometimes subconsciously, can sometimes unconsciously, and sometimes inadvertently pass on our own insecurities and our own personal preferences onto our daughters. We don't mean to do it. We're not trying to do it. But guess what? We pass it on subconsciously. We pass it on unwillingly and unknowingly to our daughters. And listen, it's called transference. We don't mean to, but we're insecure about some things. We have some fears about some things. And because we feel some kind of way, we'll just slap it onto our children because we don't know how to deal with it. That's why it's generational. I remember when Lexia first wanted to go natural. Listen, first of all, you were like, 12, 13? How old were you?
I think I was 12.
About 12 years old. Hear this. And in a time when all the other girls, wanted long hair and weave and, and there's nothing wrong with that, and was perming and doing all these other things, she came to me and she said, Mom, I want to go natural. I looked at her like, what? You want to what? Nothing in my head could comprehend the fact that here is this 12-year-old that's bold enough and confident enough to want to go natural. I was like, girl, you want to go natural? Are you sure? Because, people going to see the regular texture of your hair and you're going to have to figure out all of this protective style stuff and you're going to have to learn how to corn roll and twist and all that carrying on and natural products and oh my good girl, you're not going to want to do this because you don't know how your face going to look. You got to do the big chop and you're going to have to get out there and show people the real you. I was stressed out. But Alexia, how did you feel about going natural?
I was ready to cut off. I call perm fake. I was ready to cut off all the fake. I was just ready to have my natural hair showing. I didn't really care about opinions because this was my reality.
Wow. And so what I was doing, she was confident about going natural. Why in the world was I stressed out about going natural when it wasn't even my hair? I was not even the way. Listen, and I'm trying to help us parents, mothers especially. I was transferring my own insecurity about going natural. Now, I am very proud of my one daughter for going natural. But I was, as a matter of fact, and I don't know that I told you this, Lexi, I think I did though, is that I'm proud of you. I look up to you for doing that, for being confident.
Thank you.
Enough to go natural. Like, I'm not even ready for that level yet. Like, I don't even know if mentally, emotionally, I'm ready to just say, chop it all off. Let's just start over and go there. And so I just want you to know that I'm very proud of you, that level of confidence, to be able to go natural. And so that's one of the things. And I didn't just do it. Hey, Carlencia, welcome. I didn't just do that with the hair. That was just an example. I did it. My daughter, she likes a different kind of fashion. Thank you so much, Nikki, for watching. I did it. If she wants to wear open-toe shoes, I'm like, Lexia, why would you want to wear open-toe shoes? Your feet going to be out there and people going to be looking. And she had to tell me what?
I do not care.
She didn't have the issue. I'm the one, hey Sheila, I'm the one that had the issue with putting my toes out there, let people look at me. And so every time she wanted to do it, I was like, I don't do that because you don't want people to be talking. Right. Even with colors. For a long time, what was my favorite color? Black. And I didn't want to wear anything but black. But this flower child came along and will wear any color, orange, blue, green. Hey, Miss Beverly, thank you for watching. She'd go get her nails done. And what kind of colors would you get?
Bright neon yellow, purple.
Neon yellow and purple. And I was sticking with my same basic neutral. And I was playing at first. I wouldn't even get a color because I was like, Lexi, that's out of my comfort zone. But was it out of your comfort zone?
Not at all.
So what I was doing was transferring my own insecurities. Hey, Cynthia, thank you so much for watching. Hey, Kelvin, thank you for watching. I was transferring my own insecurities onto my daughter because I didn't want to have that issue. Now listen, and we're just going to hit this one issue tonight. We're talking about perception pressure and the damaged daughter dilemma. Am I helping or hurting? Another important aspect as we're talking about the perception pressure that I want to talk about tonight, I call it the mama bear blind spot. Can somebody type that in the comments? The mama bear blind spot. And I'm going to explain. Number one, let's talk about this in the natural. We're talking about perception pressure, and we're dealing with the damaged daughter dilemma. Am I helping or am I hurting? And I hope you guys are sharing this broadcast because I really believe that it's going to be enlightening and refreshing to other parents, other mothers, other daughters everywhere. And so I call it, thank you guys for typing it, I call it the mama bear blind spot. Lexia, have you ever heard of a blind spot? Mm-hmm. What's a blind spot?
The one that I'm going to say is the driving one. Like sometimes you could know that a car is behind you, but you can't see it in the mirror.
So you know it's there, but you can't really see it. So it's a blind spot, right? Mm-hmm. So your cars come equipped with a little what to help you see?
A camera.
A camera. Something to help you see. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you guys that are saying that this is helping. I really appreciate you guys for joining live. So I call it the mama bear blind spot. So my daughter Alexia just told you that in a car, the blind spot is a place in your car where you can't what?
See.
And something can be what?
Right behind you.
Right there, but you can't see because you have a blind spot. Well, I'm going to talk as we're dealing with the perception pressure, the mama bear blind spot. Now, here is an interesting spot about blind spots. You guys know that, watch me, I do my research, and I like looking sometimes into what medical experts have to say about things about our bodies. Well, as I did my researchers, your blind spot in your eyes, there is a little tiny spot in our retina where the optic nerve fiber exits the back of our eye. And it's a little bitty spot that creates a very tiny gap in our vision where we are essentially blind. So there is a little bitty spot where our fiber, our nerve, our optic nerve fiber is exiting at the back of our eye. And it causes a little bitty spot in our eyes where in our vision where we're essentially blind. We can't see in that one spot. But guess what? Here's the crazy thing in my research. Researchers say that there is a way to force yourself to notice this blind spot, but we usually choose to ignore it.
Like our nose. We can see our nose, but we choose to
ignore. Oh, that's good. Just like our nose, we have a blind spot. If you try to look at your nose, if you really concentrate, you can see it, but we choose to ignore it consciously. It's a blind spot. Now, let me tell you what researchers say. They say, why don't we notice the blind spots in our lives? Why don't we notice the blind spots in our minds? Well, they say it's because we allow our brains to fill in the missing information using visual cues from the environment. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a mic drop. We choose not to see. I need somebody to type that in the comments. That's a mic drop. We choose what to see. Can you say that with me, Alexia? We choose what to see. And not just that, guess what else we do? We choose what not to see. That's a mic drop. We choose what not to see. When we have a blind spot, researchers say that we make a decision not to see, that the fiber optic nerve in our eye is so small, and even though it creates a very, very small blind spot in our eyes, researchers say that if we wanted to, we could notice that blind spot, but we choose not to see it. What am I saying? I know I'm helping somebody tonight. Here's what happens. When we start picking up on things with our children, and tonight I'm focusing on our daughters, a lot of us parents, I'm calling this the mama bear blind spot. We choose what to see. We choose what not to see. It's the mama bear blind spot. We start noticing, something with my child is a little off. Something with my daughter it doesn't feel right. I kind of sense that it's a something with him. It's a something with her. But what we will do, the first thing we do immediately, we start internalizing it. We say, this has to be something either I did or something. We start associating it with, this must be something I did that happened to me. I see what she's doing. So automatically we think, oh God, that must be something that happened to me. That must be something I did. I see it. I already see that in my daughter. And so what we will do, instead of addressing the issue, here's what we do when we're dealing with the mama bear blind spot. We have two extremes. Number one, we're overcompensating. We overcompensate. We see that there is an issue with our child. We can tell something's going on with our daughter, but we decide to overcompensate. How do we overcompensate? I'm just going to buy her whatever she needs. I see that she's looking like she's sad. I don't want to deal with it because I don't want to know that somebody hurt her feelings. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy her stuff. Let me just get her the new pair of shoes she wants. Let me just take her to dinner. Let me just, let me find a way to overcompensate. Let me try to give my children what I couldn't afford. Let me just try to do for them what I didn't get to do. Let me just try to create things for them. Let me overcompensate. I see that something is going on with her, but because I'm afraid to address it, because I feel like that might be something I dealt with in my life, because I'm afraid that this might be an issue that happened to me, I can't handle knowing what that is. So what we will do, the mama bear, I'm talking about the mama bear blind spot. We're talking about perception pressure. We overcompensate. We just overdo it. We try to give our children the world. Well, I don't want to deal with the issue. She might have low self-esteem. It might be a something. No, let me just overcompensate. We will just do too much. We buy them everything. We give them everything. And we tell ourselves, I just want my daughter to have what I didn't have. I just want her to just be more. And I get that. But what we do is we try to overcompensate for that blind spot, that thing that we feel that we don't want to pay attention to, that thing that we know in our spirit, we know in the back of our mind is going on, but we just overcompensate it. Well, I can tell already she's having low self-esteem. So instead of talking to her, instead of building confidence, instead of trying to correct and see, hey cousin, if there are some things in her that I can correct, let me just overcompensate. Well, honey, let me just buy you the best shoes. Let me just buy you the best clothes. Let me just make sure you got money in your pockets. Is overcompensating fixing the issue?
Not at all.
Not at all. It almost feels like we're just kind of doing what?
Pushing it off, brushing it up on the
brushing it off. Unica Jefferson, thank you for being on. And that's what we'll do. It's called I'm calling it the mama bear blind spot. When we sense an issue with our children, especially our daughters, we start associating it with something we went through, something we had to deal with. And so we start thinking, I can't deal with that. I don't really know how to address that. So what I'm going to do is one or two things. Number one, we overcompensate. We give them too much too soon. Sometimes we give them things before they're ready. Sometimes we give them things that they're not mature enough to handle right then. Sometimes we give them things that they haven't earned yet. They didn't show that they were trustworthy enough, but we're trying to overcompensate. The other thing we do with the mama bear syndrome, the mama bear blind spot, is when we know we sent something with our children, especially our daughters, and ladies, we are good about it, we become overbearing. Lexia, what's overbearing? When a mom smothering, we do too much. Yeah. What's overbearing? When we become overbearing, what kind of things do we do as moms that are overbearing?
Overprotective. You try to take our phones. You try to cut off our freedom. All of that.
Yeah. So overbearing, we just go too far. I'm talking about we tell ourselves, I'm just doing it for their own protection. Right. And we just, no passwords. You can't go there. You can't do this. You can't. We just shut everything down because somewhere there is a fear. Somewhere we say, I recognize something in her. I recognize something in him, and I don't know how to address it. I didn't even address it in my own life. I haven't even dealt with that with my own daddy and with my own mama. So let me just be overbearing. No, you're not going there. I'm just going to stop all this on the front end. No, you can't do this. Right. No, you can't say that. No, give me the passwords. I'm just going to stalk you. I'm just going to be overbearing. I'm just going to call you all the time. I'm just going to stay in your face. I'm just going to nag you. And what we're doing is we're creating distrust. We're creating anger, hatred, resentment in our children because of issues we have not learned how to face, because of problems we haven't learned how to get solutions to. And so there's the mama bear blind spot. So our children can be right up on us and we just act like, I don't see that. And do you know that when we become overbearing with our children, we make them feel like they are incapable. We make them feel like they're inadequate. We make them feel like they're insufficient. We make them feel like they are irresponsible. We're making them feel like they can't do anything for themselves. We're making them feel like, girl, I don't trust you. Girl, you can't do this. Let me just take everything away. I don't trust you to go out there because I know what I did when I was your age. I don't trust you with that because I know what kind of stuff I was doing. The mama bear blind spot. We see things on them, and instead of addressing it, instead of talking about it, because we don't know how to deal with it, we don't know how to have a conversation, we either become overprotective. We either become overcompensating. We trying to give them everything, or guess what? Or we become overbearing. Thank you all for watching. Miss Carolyn, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Kelly. That's right. We become codependent. We make them become codependent on us. They can't do anything without checking with our mom. They're 20-something years old, and they don't know how to make a decision because they're saying, well, what about our mom? Hey, Carmela, my cousin is on. Thank you so much. They don't know how to go out there and walk on their own 2 feet because we're just saying, don't do that. Lexia, what would have happened if I never allowed you to get out there and make mistakes or find yourself or figure out? What if I just said, no, you can't go natural. You're just going to keep getting these perms.
I would have tried to snuck in and did it, and then something would have happened.
You heard that? She said, I would have just snuck and did it anyway. How many of us can admit that just because you're being overbearing you're not saving your child? You are not keeping your daughter from damage. You think, well, I'm just going to shut her down, lock it up. Listen, those of us that care to tell the truth, if we were to really tell the truth, we snuck and did it anyway. It's some things right now we're taking to the grave. It's some things right now, if our mama knew, she would faint, fall over, roll over. And we think, though, when that mama bear blind spot gets on us and we start associating with what we did, we automatically think that that's what our daughters is going to do and that's how she's going to be. But just because my daughter is a physical manifestation of me, it does not mean that she is me. It does not mean that she's going to understand, comprehend, and respond to everything the same way that I did. And so is it fair, Lexia, for me to hold you hostage because of my own insecurities?
Not at all.
What am I creating in you?
A monster.
A monster. And so as we're ending this Mic Drop Monday, and this is our part 2, we're going to come around one more time or at some other point and do a part 3. But what we're talking about and what we talked about tonight is, am I helping or am I hurting? Thank you, Dr. Walker, for being in the house. And tonight we talked about the perception pressure, how we see ourselves and how we think other people see us. Somebody asked the question, would you say a mother and daughter should be best friends? Thank you for saying that. Let me give you some insight about that. Mm-hmm. Here is what has to happen. My daughter needs to understand, and let me let her tell you, what's one of the things that I always made you confident in knowing as it relates to me as your mom?
That I can always tell you anything, no matter
anything.
What, no matter how bad.
No matter how bad.
It's better for me to tell you than you to find out.
But are me and you friends? Like best friends, like on the same level? Absolutely not. And why did I say that?
Because you're a mother first and then a best friend.
I'm a mother first. Here's what happens when your best friend, your daughter. And I'm talking about not when y'all get older and you all are able to handle adult relationships. But if I decided to be your best friend, what would happen when I have to discipline you?
I wouldn't take you serious.
You would not take me seriously. Listen, mothers, and thank you for asking that question. You can't discipline your friend. Hear me. Just like you can't discipline your best friend right now. How you look like discipline a grown person? I can't discipline my daughter as her best friend. Right. There has to be boundaries. Now, what I have to understand is she has to know, and she just told you, she knows that she can come to me with anything. She can come to me about anything. No matter how bad, and who's going to be there?
You.
Now, but if you are wrong, who's going to make sure that you know the consequences of your wrong actions?
You.
Me. And so you can't discipline your best friend. My daughter just said if I try to be her best friend, she's not going to take me seriously. She's going to be offended when she should be being disciplined. A lot of times, mothers, we are so insecure about what we've been through, and we're saying, but my mama wasn't there for me, and I just wanted me and my mom to just be so close. There is a way. Daughter, would you say that me and you have a close relationship?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We still boo up. We still spend quality time together. We still talk all the time. But my daughter will tell you, baby, I am not her best friend. She has best friends. They're around the same age. They are peers. But I am her mother first. I am her supporter. I am her strong tower, but I'm also her disciplinarian. I'm also her financial person that has to make sure she has money. It is my job to make sure that she is protected and loved, but it is also my job to build a fence around her, because as a child, if I treated her like a best friend, hey Dot, thank you for being on. If I treated her like a best friend, I'm saying that we're on the same level. Listen, even the word says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, I comprehended like a child, I responded like a child. But when I came an adult, I threw
childish things away.
Y'all heard my daughter. I put my childish things away. There are some things just because of age that your daughter will not be able to comprehend. There are some things, mothers, that we have to just say, listen, you won't understand this right now, but you got to trust the fact that I'm not going to do anything to hurt you. Some mothers are afraid to catch feelings from their daughters. You're afraid for your daughter to be mad. You're afraid for your daughter to get an attitude. Now, let me show you something. Now, me and my daughter are very close. But baby, do you get an attitude with your mama? And what do you do when you get an attitude with me?
I walk away.
Walk away. Start talking slow. Don't want to kiss and hug like we usually do. Issues. But guess what? I had to be the grown person and say, hey, she'll get over it. Susie asked the question, how do you develop a relationship when they are grown, when you have made mistakes? Listen, make sure that you go and watch the Damaged Daughter Dilemma Part 1, because I talked a lot about that. I talked about how to go back and take ownership of the things that you might have done wrong. A lot of daughters just want you to admit that, listen, I might not have had it all together. And so find a way to take ownership. And then, hey, listen, you can't fix the past. I say all the time, my past has passed, but you can start where you are right now. Right now, we can start again. And so before we got to get out of here, but let me just end by saying this. Number one, make sure that you give your daughters affirmation. Make sure that you give yourself affirmation. Listen to me. You can't believe what you don't hear. There is no way that I can believe good things about myself if I didn't hear it. Even the word says faith comes by hearing. If I didn't sit my daughter in front of the mirror when she was 5 and start talking to her and giving her affirmations, she would have never believed it. There is no way that I could have believed that I could do better and be better if I did not hear it. Faith comes by hearing. And so you can't believe what you don't hear. And so I spoke life into my daughter. I gave confirmation into my daughter. What are you saying about yourself? Because who you are is reflected in who she becomes. I just told you guys, what you won't face in the mirror, you'll be forced to face in your reflection. And so I had to start looking at myself in the mirror and said, you are strong, you are capable, you are loved, you are worthy, you are somebody, you are able, you can win, you are beautiful. And it took a long time. Do you know when my healing really began? When I was able to look this chick in the face. And now guess what? She can say affirmations. What kind of things do you say to yourself just to kind of, prompt yourself? And I told them about the chant that you gave me when I was little, when you were little and I was a younger mother. And what did you used to tell me?
What is it?
Come on, Mom.
You can do it. Put a little power to it.
Come on, Mama. You can do it. Put a little power to it. She used to tell me that when she was 5, and it woke me up. It made me go on. And even today, do you still talk to yourself in affirmations?
Of course.
What do you say?
I tell myself I'm gorgeous. I want to do it. I want to wear what I would like, and not what anyone else would want me to wear.
And that helps with peer pressure, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And so listen, ladies, we got to go. But I'm so grateful for all of you mothers and daughters and even fathers and friends that tuned in tonight for this special edition of Mic Drop Monday. If you missed it, go back to the beginning and watch it. Share this with your family, your friends. Share this with your daughters. Share this with your mothers. Thank you so much, Stacy. Make sure that you speak well of yourself. And make sure that you speak well of your daughter. You don't know how much pressure she comes upon every day. Going to school, dealing with other people, right. Dealing with peer pressure, dealing with the pressures of education, dealing even with parental pressure that we put on them is big, but they can't know what they don't hear. So speak to yourself in a positive manner. Speak to your daughter in a positive manner and know that you got this. I'm Elisa, LaShell, the Empowerment Specialist.
And I am Alexia LaJ West.
And this is Alexia LaJ, and we're so grateful that you joined us for another episode of Mic Drop Monday. Catch me this Wednesday at 12:15 p.m. for my Wednesday Wisdom, my midweek motivational moment. And catch me next Monday, same time, Facebook Live, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.